Hey, how's it going, viewers of the video? Today, we're going to look at the Gen 1 Pokemons that got a game freaking dumb secondary type or no type, and how good they'd be if there was actually a god. And given it's close to / just past Christmas, we'll talk about Gengar Bells first. Fun fact about them, if you include the Mega and Big Boy form, Gengar has been in the most OU tiers of any Pokemon barring Mewtwo. Isn't that so cool? Like, the bro has been around for a while, and it all started in Generation 1. Okay everyone, I just want to know, real quick, what do you think rhymes with Gengar? This video is sponsored by Royal Match. Royal Match is a free-to-play, ad-free, freedom-inducing mobile game. Listen, it's really simple. If you want a fun game to just pass the time, this is one of the absolute best ones out there. With great graphics, you're gonna build and furnish King Robert's castle, and you'll have a blast playing and competing with your friends. Or just do what I do and chill out while playing this match-free game for hours on end. Hey, what's that? A link in the description you should click on right now to play Royal Match, the ad-free, free-to-play game with over 7,000 levels and the ability to compete in local and global championships? I personally love the sense of achievement when playing this game, whether it's smashing the easy levels or overcoming the difficult ones. Match-free puzzles have never been this fun, so click on the link in the description or pinned comment today and give this game a go. Once again, it's absolutely free, so you're not losing anything by just trying it out. Thank you King Roberts for introducing me to this game, and thank you Royal Match for sponsoring this video. To massively simplify it, Gengar kind of operates as a lead sleeper and just something to eat normal moves when it switches in. Actually, let's focus in on that. Allow me to lay out a scenario. Your opponent is running Tauros, and you, as skillfully as I evade capture for my crimes, switch to Gengar on a body slam. Well done. You've just got the fabled free switch. Now what? Well, if we're assuming you've put nothing else to sleep, that's always a good plan. 60% is basically 100%. Otherwise, Thunderbolt and consistently damaging Nightshade are moves that exist. Yeah, they're only going to mildly ignore Tauros, but I won't tell anyone about your small damage. Finally, there is always the nuclear option. You get half of your health removed, I get... So while this is a very simplified encounter, you can see that the options you have are at least somewhat valid. What is the obvious plot twist I'm building up to then? Three words. Speed tie and earthquake. What the fuck, that's 4 words. See, Gengar has the poison type, and earthquake hits poison for super effective damage, allowing Tauros to two-shot you 100% of the time. Now, if you want to hit that crucial hypnosis, you've got to beat the speed tie, not miss, and hope you don't get critted into oblivion by the Raging Ball. FYI though, I'd still switch out Tauros because I'm a coward, but you do you. Alright, the poison type. Bad. Very, very bad. A disgrace to the human race, I'd say. Defensively, it does nothing. Oh wow, I get to resist the 40 base power Mega Drain and whatever the base power of Beedrill's Stabiniture move Twin Needle hits for. And most importantly of all, the RBY fighting type. But what if we look at the offensive side? Oh yeah, it's offensive alright. Offensive to the player using the poison type. We got dead bugs and slightly deterred grass types. What you wanna hurt? In addition, if we bring this back around to Gengar, it makes no use of the poison type as an attack at all, because all of the poison type moves are physical, and Gengar's physical attack...
That's kind of small.
Now the detriment the poison type has on Gengar... Oh boy. Tauros, the best mon in the tier, and a normal type, checks Gengar with Earthquake. Snorlax, the second best mon in the tier, also can run Earthquake. Rhydon will always one-shot with Earthquake. Alakazam, Starmie, Executor, Jinx, exists. Essentially, with Gengar, you're walking on eggshells because below the eggshells is the ground, and Gengar is going to have an aneurysm if it ever touches that forbidden area. But okay, we've established the basic problems, and the fact that we can't change it is sad. Boo-hoo. But I can allow you, through the power of guessing really, to have a glimpse at what could have been. In a world where every other Pokemon isn't infected with the plague, Gengar is probably, and this is going to be wildly overestimating things, I'll admit it, one of the best Pokemon, potentially the best. Right off the bat, every Pokemon previously eyeing you up with a tasty 2-shot is now only going to be able to kill you with a 3-shot, and this is a really big deal. So now, if Gengar switches in and eats a hit when it switches in, it's still going to be able to live long enough to actually accomplish something. Already, pretty good improvement. But what about in terms of countering actual Pokemon? Well, Tauros now fears you much more. Yeah, he is still barely out-damaging you, but hey, you got more chances to miss Hypnosis now. And honestly, that's going to make everything more terrifying. In addition, if Gengar uses Thunderbolt on Tauros and gets a lucky early para, there's actually not an insignificant chance that you could beat a healthy Tauros 1v1. I personally wouldn't hedge my bets there, but you do you, champ. A chipped Tauros is in massive danger against you. Without that awful attribute, Gengar can just do whatever the hell they want. Oh no, I switched into a Rhydon and lost 60% of my health. Well, as they say in the Suckation land, I'ma suck you dry and use your own health to live the next Earthquake and finally kill you. So much for that counter. To be or not to be completely fair, we are still talking about Gengar here, and Gengar is pretty frail. Yeah, nothing will hit for super effective damage, but if the Threat of Sleep is used up, you're gonna, you're not gonna be immortal, and you're not gonna be that scary, just incredibly annoying. However, if you save Gengar for late, and it comes out against an enemy team of unhealthy mons, maybe even ones that were recently confined to wheelchairs, I personally wouldn't want to be them. Admittedly, this is a very, very simple look at this concept. I'm well aware of that. But it's just kind of what I enjoy doing. I like being able to take this idea and then throw it out to you all. It's why the 9U video is one of my favourites, just because of all the comments on it and seeing all the ideas thrown around. My goal with this video is as it always is. I want to give you the idea and then allow you all to eloquently take to the comments and write a fucking essay about why the Lions will beat the Pokemon. Yes, I am still fuming about that. The Lions lose every time. What the goddamn duck? Currently, Golduck is part of the big, compared to children, 4 of the lower tiers, residing in NUBL. Now, in terms of doing anything in UU, forget about it. That's literally it. It's using Amnesia, very, very predictable, and while, yeah, it can hit hard after an Amnesia boost, it's just no, just don't use it. However, what if we were to improve upon Golduck's design? What if we were to place that funky little psychic type right inside this duck? What would that do? What could have been? Well, dear viewer, Psychic now goes from a 4-shot on Tier King Tentacruel to a 3-shot on Tier King Tentacruel. Or it would, if Golduck could learn Psychic. Okay, Gyarados becoming a dragon. No one has ever thought of this idea before. Completely new, original content on the MagcarJoe channel right here and now. Gyarados has Gyarados main hurdles, preventing it from rising through the ranks. The electric weakness and a move pool that doesn't allow its better physical attack to come into play. And to be quite frank, we can't fix the second option by giving it a dragon type. How sad. However, as you can probably guess, that's not the main problem with Gyarados. Gyarados has really impressive stats, but he acts like he should be a pressure washer, while in reality, he's a hose set to drizzle. And while this isn't the main reason, it's a pretty big one. Gara sounds like para, and the way you get paralyzed is from Thunder Wave, and Thunder Wave is electric, and a strong dose of that is Gyarados' numero uno problem. Just by getting rid of Gyarados' flying type, things change a lot. Gyarados now resists water and grass by 4 times, while taking neutral damage from everything else. Admittedly, one out of those 2 4 times resists is not really that important. It doesn't really matter in OU or UU, and even water isn't like a top 3 of the most used attacks, but still, you're eating any of them fine. The biggest importance, obviously, is Gyarados no longer fears being hit by the super effective electric, cause Big Blue is actually a pretty bulky mon, all things considered. I could really see this thing entering OU and just being used as a wall breaker, just switching in and out and smashing up things whenever it got the opportunity, because while it doesn't have a crazy amount of resist, it has nothing that hits it for super effective damage anymore. So your survivability is just gonna massively shoot up. I mean, let's face it, Snorlax, Chansey, and Tauros don't resist anything, and yeah, they'd be pretty good in the tier. Obviously, the move pool will always hold Gyarados back. There's no way around it. I don't think Gyarados would ever get to, like, the top tier of OU just for that one fact alone. But in terms of actual matchups in OU, there's 2 I just want to look at real quick. Firstly is Rhydon, which is going to sound really weird. Here's the thing, if Rhydon predicts a switch, it can punish Gyarados quite badly using Rock Slide. Now, however, it's going to do basically nothing. Gyarados switches in, Hydro Pump, Rhydon is no more. Rhydon has ceased to exist. And now let's go to the other end of the spectrum. And by far, my favourite matchup ever, Zapdos. Poor fucking Zapdos. They went from a guaranteed kill, meaning as soon as Zapdos arrived into a fight with a Gyarados, your options were die or run away, because it's much faster as well. If Gyarados gets the Dragon type though, Zapdos has a 50% chance to free shot it with Thunderbolt. What a world to live in. What could have been? Don't get me wrong, the numbers are still in Zapdos' favour, obviously, but the fact that Gyarados could switch in and actually hurt Zapdos is the funniest fucking thing in the world to me. Jokes aside though, it's time to be fair. Let's look at the effect of losing the flying type and all the negative aspects that come with it. Well, actually there's just one. Very simple. Earthquake. Immunity. They go bye-bye. Which, yeah, that sucks. 100%. Having the immunity of one of the best attacks in the game is a beautiful thing. But for Gyarados in particular, I'm gonna make the judgment that it's a reasonable sacrifice. Aside from that though, oh no, we don't resist bug or fighting anymore. Woe is me. Gosh golly gee gosh darn it, Mr. Joseph. Shouldn't we address the dramatic effect a lack of flying type stab attacks would have on Gyarados? He would lose his precious nothing. Disappointment was a concept that came into existence when Gyarados was made. Some god told him he had the ability to fly, and then proceeded to not give him any ability to fly. It's so sad. In attacking terms, removing the flying type does nothing to Gyarados. Absolutely nothing. In closing, if today Game Freak announced an update for Generation 1 where Gengar lost Poison and Gyarados lost its crippling weakness to Electric and Golduck lost the reason to even try anymore, I think Gengar would easily be the most drastic change. Like, probably altering the entire tier list change. Actually, I'm going to pose that to the comments. Let me know what you think the tier would look like if all these changes came into fruition. But Gyarados would definitely, like, sneak into OU. I'm confident of that. And perhaps the blue boy would start causing a few concerns. Perhaps even a ruckus. It's also very possible Gyarados would be an absolute monster in the tier and a premier threat, the likes of which have never been seen since Mewtwo. I mean, Water Dragon is pretty good in the early gens. It's goated. And if my boy got physical water stab, it would be over for you all. I'm certain of that at least. And that is just about everything. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Want to take a quick little moment to shout out my editor for helping to make this video possible, as well as the sponsor, Royal Match. Once again, link in the description if you want to go and try it out. In addition, I want to give a massive shout out to all of my Patreon supporters. If you do feel like supporting me, you can throw me a few dollars, link is again in the description. You can get access to a private chat in the Discord server, you get your name here, pretty cool stuff. Now, depending on when this video comes out, I hope you have an absolutely amazing Christmas, or an amazing New Year, or had an amazing Christmas, or an amazing New Year. Either way, thank you for watching, I'll see you all in the next one, goodbye.